crowd outside the 11th Hour Ocean Conference in Mombasa was unmistakably celebratory. Traditional dancers welcomed delegates. Ministers posed for photographs against a backdrop of ocean blue, while commitments worth billions of dollars were announced to protect the world's seas. For 3 days, Mombasa became the global capital of ocean conservation. But behind the applause and colorful displays, a different story was unfolding inside the conference halls. As delegates moved from one plenary room to another, report after report explored the challenges facing Africa's coastal communities. The document painted a troubling picture. A picture of declining fish catches, a picture of hidden ownership structures that make it difficult to identify who profits from African waters, and a picture of illegal, unreported and unregulated fishing, known simply as IUU fishing, continuing to undermine livelihoods across the continent.
Domestically, Kenya has established blue economy implementation frameworks, adopted integrated coastal zone management, and strengthened its response to illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing.
At the center of the debate were the voices of small-scale fishers. Men and women from coastal communities spoke of shrinking catches, rising competition from industrial fleets, and destructive trawling practices that they say are leaving traditional fishing grounds depleted. For many, the issue is no longer just conservation, it is survival.
Trawling lazima itaniadhiri kwa sababu mimi ni mvuvi mdogo. Tuseme mvuvi mdogo ni kama mwenye amekaa chini ya mwembe anasubiria embe ianguke. Na kuna yule mwingine yeye anapanda juu, anaenda kuzifuata hizo maembe juu. Sasa mimi mwenye nangoja hapa chini, nitapata ile ya bahati, sitapata ile yenye inahitajika nipate. Kwa sababu yule mwenye anazifuata kule juu anachagua ama hata anaweza kuchukua zote mbivu na mbichi akabeba. Na hata zile grade nzuri pia bado atabeba yeye.
The complaints are familiar. Boats going out longer and returning with less. Local operators forced to watch larger vessels take what used to sustain entire communities. In these villages, illegal, unreported and unregulated fishing is not an abstract policy term. It is a daily wound.
Kuliingia tetesi za boti kubwa kuvua samaki, wale wanaitwa meli za Kichina. Zilikuwa zinavua samaki wengi sana hapo nje, na boti zao ni meli kubwa. Sisi hatuwezi wafikia kule waliko, wao wanavua na meli, wanavua matani kwa matani. Wanavua tani kwa matani. Alafu wao wanachukua wanaenda kuweka cold store, mali nyingi ya samaki. Sisi zetu tukipata ni kilo 3, kilo 4. Sasa wao ndo wanavua samaki nyingi sana na ni wageni kutoka China huko. Sababu area ya kwetu huko wanatumalizia samaki.
Somewhere off the Kenyan coast tonight, foreign trawlers are working waters that local fishers can no longer reach. Flagged to Ghana, flagged to South Korea, flagged again and again to the People's Republic of China. On paper, that's all anyone can tell you. Who actually owns these vessels, who profits when the nets come up, and who answers when the law is broken, is in most cases hidden. When foreign industrial vessels operating under hidden ownership take a disproportionate share of the catch, or fish inside zones reserved for small-scale and artisanal fishers, the shortage doesn't just hit the men who go out in their boats. It hits the women's stores at the landing site the next morning, where there is simply less to sort, smoke, and sell.
Mimi nimeshuhudia uchungu ya wale wavuvi, nimeshuhudia kwa macho na pia experience mimi mwenyewe. Sasa ukiangalia pale kwa familia za wavuvi, akina wanawake, watapata nini kama trawler inaenda na kila kitu? Na hiyo ndio tegemeo lao. Wao hawana biashara, hawana kampuni, hawana kazi za ofisi, pale hakuna industry, hakuna shopping center, mtu ataenda kuajiriwa mahali. Waona? Sasa ile tegemeo lao kubwa sana zaidi ni ile bahari na rasilimali ya bahari, samaki, iwe yani yoyote ile watawata kwa bahari. Lakini kama itakuwa kila kitu inafagiliwa na mtu wa nje, unaona mambo yanabadilika, inakuwa tofauti.
Dr. Christine Chemtai Hicks of Ishana spoke to the need for women's voices to be amplified within fisheries policy and governance, not just fisheries labor. She outlined the specific challenges women face as participants in the fishing ecosystem, from exclusion in decision-making spaces to the informal and protected nature of processing and trading work.
Two of the real key challenges is firstly that even though women have a really important role to play in fisheries, fishing happens at sea and often it's mostly men, but women are involved again. But that can't take place without the women who hold up the infrastructure, who before fishing and after fishing, they process the fish, they trade the fish, and they take it to the households to nourish children. But the role of women is often overlooked, so we don't see their roles, and so we don't involve them in our policies and in our funding. The second related challenge that we talked about was women's voices are often missed in the decision-making circles, so they're not seen and they're not heard.
Global data from the FAO underscores the gravity of this crisis. Women make up 56% of the global fish processing workforce. In Africa, where fish accounts for 19% of total animal protein supply, and the reported illegal fishing isn't just a marine issue, it is a direct threat to household nutrition and food security. Every single illegal ton stolen by an untraceable trawler is a ton stripped from a Kenyan family's plate.
The fourth message of Sophia is that aquatic production is not only crucial for food security and nutrition, but also for livelihood provision, trade, and sustainable development. The sector globally employs directly more than 65 million people. These are directly people that go to sea or that farm directly with their hands the products. The large majority of these are in small-scale fisheries. But if we add those that are involved in the full value chain of aquatic production and its dependents, we estimate that 600 million people around the world depend on the sector for their livelihoods.
Experts told delegates that much of the problem lies beyond what can be seen on the water.
We don't have economic valuation of our resources. So we are looking forward to see if we can have an economic valuation of the ocean to know what's the value of the resources we have in the ocean.
According to research presented at the conference, industrial fishing vessels frequently operate through complex ownership structures that hide the individuals and companies benefiting from Africa's marine resources. The reports warn that these opaque arrangements create opportunities for illegal fishing activities to flourish while making accountability difficult.
Overfishing is a problem because we can't always see who's fishing on our waters. So across Africa, we know we have a large number of illegal, unregulated, and foreign fishing activities that contribute to the pressure on our fish stocks. I expect some real commitments from governments across the world on tackling the issues of transparency at sea that help us address overfishing, in protecting more marine habitats to try and build resilience against the impact of climate change. And I really hope that there will be a greater role for the small-scale fishing communities in decision-making roles, so they can be part of developing the solutions that affect them most. And so coordination across nations, but also coordination within nations across all the actors, leveling the playing field so all actors have an equal say.
At this year's Our Ocean Conference, 16 countries adopted what's being called the Mombasa Declaration, committing to improve access to information on vessel ownership, tracking, fishing activity, and supply chains.
The EU pledged yesterday over €338 million for the ocean, because we believe in international cooperation and investing in our ocean, to protect it from climate change and pollution, illegal, unregulated, and unreported fishing, and security threats.
At the conference, the governments of Kenya, Seychelles, Gabon, Tanzania, and South Africa unveiled a set of county-led commitments to advance electronic monitoring, onboard video cameras, GPS, and sensors that track and verify what vessel is actually doing at sea. Each country is at a different stage, from piloting system to binding national commitments, but together they signal clear regional shifts toward fisheries management that runs on data, not just paperwork.
The United Republic of Tanzania fully supports the 6 interconnected thematic priorities of this conference.
We must intensify the fight against illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing, a practice that robs coastal communities of billions of dollars, a practice that undermines honest fishermen, and that threatens food security around the world.
The government of Seychelles is joining the Tuna Transparency Pledge, committing to 100% to the water monitoring across all its industry tuna vessels by 2027. Kenya, as a conference host, has committed to 100% monitoring of all industrial fishing vessels in its waters through electronic monitoring and onboard observers by 2030.
We have invested another 3 billion shillings to a maritime center that will be used for information gathering and research that is going to assist our fisheries and blue economy ecosystems.
Kate Walsh, the Ocean Ambassador, spoke broadly to ocean and marine protection, drawing the line between healthy fish stocks and healthy coastal communities, makes the case for eradicating destructive trawling practices specifically, framing it not as an abstract environmental position, but as something tied directly to the futures of the small-scale fishers.
It's critical for local communities to get involved and take action, but also the support of other outside organizations like Oceana to help come in and protect and provide support. And really we're here to let the world know how important it is, how important Africa is, how important it is, how important these coasts are to protect. From trawling, from drilling, from seismic testing, from mining, from all the things.
A flag on a hull tells you nothing, but public transparency tells you everything.
Let the measure of this conference not be what we pledged on the shore, but what we deliver in the waters.
The celebrations outside the conference hall have concluded. But the women and men of Africa's shores are still waiting to see if the promises made inside will finally protect their livelihoods or leave them with an empty ocean.
It's indeed a course set with bountiful opportunities for tangible collaboration and headway. But the tide waits for no one, so all aboard for the voyage ahead. May we stay true to our course, and along the way may we have fair winds and following seas.